So the WNBA All-Star reserves were announced today, and we have the complete list. And I thought I would do something a little bit different on the channel, and we're going to select Caitlin Clark and Napheesa Collier's teams for them. So how this is going to work is Team Caitlin will have the first pick amongst the starters, and then on the bench, it will flip to Team Collier. I will put these teams together based on what I think might make for interesting storyline, how it's likely to go, in my opinion. And, little subplots that I think might, be interesting as far as like picking, everyone. I'm going to try to get all the Indiana Fever players together. If it works out, I believe it will. And I'm going to, look at alliances. Like I think that UConn clique is there for sure. And we're going to try to balance these things to where it makes sense. I don't know where I'm going yet, but I guess that's why I'm going to have some fun here with you guys doing it here. So make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel. Don't miss anything we got going on and all that. So let's move over. And we got our list here. So I'm going to move Caitlin Clark over, obviously, to Team Caitlin. And we're going to move Napheesa Collier over to Team Fee. Okay, so with the first pick, I'm going to pick Aaliyah Boston for Team Caitlin. So Aaliyah Boston's having a great season. It's no secret. I think Caitlin would be wise to pick her only teammate amongst the starters. I saw some people, saying there's no way that Collier would pick Boston first, so maybe you can, pick someone else first. But I don't even think Caitlin would play with it there. I anticipate Aaliyah will be the first person off the board, gives you your center, and kind of allows everyone else to fall into place from here. So with the first pick for Napheesa Collier, I am going to put Breanna Stewart over here. And I am doing that based on them both being teammates at UConn. They're partners at Unrivaled. And I think there may be some UConnism going on here. With the third pick, I think Caitlin Clark is going to take A'ja Wilson. And I think she's going to take A'ja Wilson because she's the best talent left on the board. I think A'ja and Aaliyah, you got your South Carolina duo there. Caitlin can dump off to either of them for buckets, and it makes a nice matchup with Breanna Stewart and Napheesa Collier, who, are big time in their own right, especially in the front court. Napheesa Collier, her next selection, I'm going to take Paige Beckers here. And I'm going to take Paige because they need a guard. She's a natural foil to Caitlin Clark, at the guard spot. And we're keeping the UConn theme going from there. So for the next pick, I'm going to go with Sabrina Ionescu of the New York Liberty. A lot of people have theorized that Caitlin and Sabrina one day could be teammates. There's a Nike connection there. So we're going to go with Sabrina there. And there was that rumor that one time they would do the shootout together. They call themselves the Splash Sisters and all that. So Napheesa Collier, I think they're going to need another guard, and to go with Paige Beckers to even it out, I feel like it's going to be Alicia Gray. Even though, in my opinion, I would think Alicia Gray might be a better fit on Team Caitlin, just the way they like to run the floor. But yeah, that gives like a South Carolina crossover amongst the UConn folks. And then Team Caitlin, I think we're going to go with the size and the versatility of the unicorn. We're going to go with Satou Sabally for Team Caitlin. And Team Caitlin would round out as Clark, Boston, Wilson, Ionescu, and Sabally. And then that leaves Nneka Ogwumike for Team Collier. So Team Collier, real tough, man. Took me a little second to get Nneka Ogwumike's name on there. The U's and the W's get me messed up there. So on to our bench. We will start with Team Collier. And I'll do a space there just to make sure. Now, this is where it could get nasty. Collier could easily say, I'm going to reach across and grab one of Caitlin's teammates so she doesn't get her and pick Kelsey Mitchell because it's an all-star game, firepower. We saw how Enrique got hot last year. Kelsey could easily step into a role like that where she's on fire. But I think Collier is going to want to keep the peace, and she's going to pick Courtney Williams, her own teammate, first. And since she doesn't have Kayla McBride, she's definitely going to want a Lynx player there. And I think Caitlin will answer by taking Kelsey Mitchell off the board. So we get all the Indiana Fever players on Team Caitlin, just as she said. So up next, I'm looking at versatility. I'm looking at the ability to guard somebody. I'm going to go with Gabby Williams here from Seattle. Also adding to that UConn flavor From there, it gets a little bit tougher because there's a lot of different ways you can go here. You can build out a backcourt. You can build out a front court. You're pretty strong and tall for Team Caitlin amongst the starters already, and there are not that many big people left. So we're going to go with a big person here. I think I would go with Alyssa Thomas right here. Team Collier, I think they're going to go with Skylar Diggins here just because Skylar Diggins is somebody that you do not want to mess around with. That is a determined lady. So we're going to go with Skylar Diggins. Back to Team Caitlin. I think we're going to go with Sonia Citrone here. I know Sonia Citrone and Caitlin Clark were teammates once. Caitlin will probably show love to her fellow young player. I think at this point, Alicia Gray will be whispering in Napheesa Collier's ear to go ahead and pick up Ryan Howard. I could easily see Ryan Howard going here. Another sniper scorer to come off the oak here. I think from here we'll probably match that with Kelsey Plum. So we got the Kelseys there. From here, I think Team Fee will go with Kiki Iria Finn. So we're breaking up the Mystics. So there's a lot of ways you can go right here. You can, round out your guard lineup. There are a lot of small guards that Team Caitlin has. I think they are a bit undersized coming off the bench, that is. But I think a good pick for them here. Oh, well, we'll burn up the comment section. Angel Reese, let's do it. Of course, Caitlin and Angel played on the same All-Star team last year, and putting them here would be quite funny. After that, Team Fee, I think, are going to look at Jackie Young to round out their squad. And then that leaves Kayla Thornton. Let's take a look back at the teams I built here. Let's see if this makes sense. So we got Clark, Boston, Wilson, Ionescu, and Sabali. So in that lineup, you've got versatile shooting all of the court. You've got incredible inside finishing. You've got mid-range with Wilson and Boston being able to do their thing. That's a tough squad. Maybe not the most athletic team like with Caitlin and Sabrina there, but they are snipers. They are going to be able to do their thing, assuming all health. And then coming off the bench, Kelsey Mitchell can rotate in. Alyssa Thomas can, play pretty much any position. If you want to do, some freak lineups of like Alyssa Thomas as a point guard, Satu Sabali as a shooting guard, Asia Wilson as a 3, Boston as a 4, and like Angel Reese as a 5 or something like that. You could go small. You can do Clark, Mitchell, Plum, play Sabali at center, and Ionescu. I think that would be a cool lineup. Coming off the bench, you can do your 2-man lineup of Clark and Reese, and then just put a bunch of shooters around them and just attempt to run the other team off the court, and any miss is cleaned up by Angel. But yeah, that's Team Caitlin. I like that squad. So let's look at Team Collier. So with Collier, there's a lot of UConn people. Collier, Stewart, Beckers, Gabby Williams as well. So the key for Team Fee, I think, is just versatility and people that are able to play multiple positions. Collier herself can play 3, 4, or 5 at any given time. Brianna Stewart can play pretty much shooting guard through center. Paige will play, she can be the 1, the 2, or the 3, depending on the lineup. Alicia Gray is just up and down the court like a blur, can guard, can shoot. Nneka Ogwumike can do anything as far as a center, power forward. I like, the squad that they have there. And also, another hidden thing is that whole WNBA Players Union, Collier, Stewart, Ogwumike, all on the same squad. Now we got the Williamses off the bench, Courtney Williams, Gabby Williams. Gabby Williams can come in and just be a blanket over pretty much anybody. Skylar Diggins can just relieve Paige, at the point guard position, and Courtney also is another point guard there. Ryan Howard, she can step up for Alicia Gray, and Iria Finn, she would basically spell probably Collier or Ogwumike at a given time. She's a younger version of both, and Jackie Young is like all-purpose Swiss Army knife from the guard spot. No Enrique this year, so she doesn't have to worry about getting fried by her. But this is, I think, what I would do with the teams of Team Fee and Team Caitlin. I plan on it being a pretty fun watch. I like the format. Of course, we will find out what the actual teams are, I believe, Tuesday night, and we will react to those on the channel. But I imagine it could look something like this. So what do you think of my teams, and how would you break it up? Let me know. Peace. One lifetime.